Homie, Sam. Okay. Well, we made it. We're back once again a little bit late, but I'm joined. Shocking news, breaking news. Joey didn't make another show. I know everyone's taken back by that. Hopefully, you guys can hear us. Let me start off with that before I introduce Nick. Everybody ought to know you by now because you're a great friend of the show. But if you are able to go and hear us, put it in the chat. Let us know. Make sure the audio is coming in good. I set it up without the approval of Joey today, or without the supervision rather of Joey. So keep us posted. Anyway, I'm joined with Nick, man. Still on the winter side here at the Super Billiards Expo. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
how's
Yes,
it going
sir.
for you so far, buddy?
It's good. It's good. The tables are playing a little slower than normal, but I think it's just because of the weather. The first 4 days was raining a lot, so
Yeah. How's the
yeah.
humidity then?
I think that has to do with it because a lot of players are saying the rails are not bouncy. The cloth is playing a little slow, so it's just you have to adjust a little bit.
Well, you've been getting out of your comfort zone over the last, let's say, 4 or 5 months, something like that. 3
Since
months?
January, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 months.
Yeah.
And traveling. So how is it going from, across the globe, across the states, different environments, different tables, different conditions? How's it been for you in your first few months?
It's been crazy because I'm like I said, it's all new to me. So, going to Europe for the first time, I was expecting hey, they have tables to practice on. You can do whatever time, but now it's like to get there and they're like, no, you have to schedule 2 half-an-hour sessions and that's all you get for the day. And you're like,
that's nothing. Though. 30 minutes
dude,
is quick.
That's
what
I'm saying. It's so crazy. I was like, that's all the practice we get. And then there's 4 tables and everything. So I mean, some people are gracious enough to let you jump on and switch racks, and not just play a game,
right,
but kind of just keep you warmed up. So that was good. But that practice, and then you only get 2 minutes, or you get a rack before your match. So if you didn't even get to practice that day,
as far as warming up on the table,
warming up on the table. So it's I've never been where I haven't been around that scenario before. It's always been at a pool hall where I can come in 2 or 3 hours before my match and I can warm up, and then.
Well, it's rough for you because you're the low fish on the totem pole, buddy.
Yeah, I am, and I had a great event. I focused and I got the job done to make top 64 and just made a couple mistakes against Ocean.
Well, you're starting off pretty good this year. I mean, I know your expectations are high, but you're also realistic, and 'cause me and your buddies outside of doing this whole thing, but I always told you I believed in you, and you got the ability. And it wasn't me just saying it as a friend, but the cool thing is that you backed it up over the last few months in some great finishes.
Yeah,
you started off with Derby, and then you've continued to go and just follow up every event you've gone on with solid wins.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I wasn't going to go to Derby until Emily made it a matchroom points event. And then I was like, well, dang, I have to go. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I was getting into or how many rounds I was doing because I've never been before. So all of it's been an experience for me. So like I said, I didn't expect to get any invites or any anything at all. I was like, okay, next year it'll come. And I remember messaging you about it, just saying what's the possibilities? Just because I don't know, I've never been in this scenario before.
Act like you've been there, buddy. Pretend like you belong. And you're speaking of dog, and he's trying to let them ears out of the yard. But no, Nick, you're doing fantastic, and I'm super proud of you. So let's talk about how you're doing in this event, because this one, it was added last minute. I know you already had plans to go and come here regardless, but just to kind of get some seasoning under your belt. But what was it like for you getting the news that this ended up being a matchroom points event?
It was even better because I got it taken care of just so I can play against more of the champions and everything and get the experience, like you said. But once they made it a points ranking event, I was like, it was a no-brainer. I have to go. I was already planning to go into some of the Euro tours just because I didn't think I was going to get invites at all this year.
That's a little rough though, because the payouts aren't that great. Euro
no,
tours.
They're not, and that's not what it's about for me. It's more about getting as many points as I can by the end of November.
You got a lot of heart, man. Showing a lot of dedication for it.
Well, I practice a lot. I put in time. I need to put in more time. Just working on stuff.
So what's that goal for this year then? Because I know you're already doing good on points, but it's still early. What realistically, what are you hoping to go and achieve this year? It's a live show, buddy.
I want to be. I just want to really go out and do well this year, all together.
Well, you've already succeeded there, man.
No, I'm not done then.
No, I know. And cool story. People don't know this, but I texted Nick. I think it was during the World Championship.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the night that I made it into the top 64.
Yeah. And who did you beat to get in there?
Um,
I forgot what it was. But anyway, I told Nick, I said, you know what, man, I'm proud of you. You're doing good. I think you had Albin on deck, right?
yeah. I
And
draw Albin first round.
yeah, which is pretty sick because the
Yeah.
guy's just the best 9-ball player over the last like 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Tournament wise. But I said, you know what, man, I'm proud of you. You're doing good. Giving him that whole friend spiel. But I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, believe it. And the response is what I love the best. You were like, I'm not done. It's not over yet. I'm gonna win. You know. And you gave Albin all he can go and handle. I think up until around 6-6. And then you had a chance to go up 3 at one point in that match. And look at his face. He's sick about it. Just thinking about it.
I'm so disgusted. But you know, it's learning experience. That's how I took it. So I mean, like, if it wasn't for Oscar, changing my mindset, he told me a story, and I told it on the last interview you guys had it with me. But I guess he was playing Niels, a race to 100, and he says that when he was playing a lot, his tournament play was down here, but his practice play was like up here.
Yeah.
And he was down like 10-0 against Niels, and he goes to the bathroom, and his dad comes in. He's all, for God's sake, just practice. For once, just practice. You already lost. But if you go out there and practice, you're going to beat Niels because he practiced so well. But tournament play, it wasn't like up there with his practice play. So
it's easy when you're free stroking and you got no pressure and you're hitting balls in good, you're comfortable. There's no expectations.
Yeah.
But that mindset is different when you got champions sitting across from you.
Of course. Yeah, no, totally. And then so he went out there, he washed his hands. He said, I went out there and Nick, I practiced like every time I hit the table, and I came back and it was 10-10, and Niels made an incredible shot or something happened crazy and he got out. But he's all, from that moment, it changed my whole thought process. And so when I went into playing Albin, I didn't look at him as this champion, a world champion. I just go, I'm just here to practice. And
I love that, man.
My mindset, I was down 3-1, and he made a mistake. I capitalized on the next game, and I broke around 3, so it's 5-3. And I'm about to put a 4-pack on him, and I'm running out, and I dogged the 9-ball. And the best part about it is that not just that I was playing well against them, but I had like the support, like the U.S. players were there. You know, they were cheering me on. It was great, like experience. And
there's a lot of camaraderie, and I've noticed that over the last, like following you guys on social media, where everyone's hanging out together.
Yeah,
everyone's kind of sweating each other's matches. It doesn't matter if it's the Nick DeLeons of the world or the Shane Wolfords or the Shane Van Bonings.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Like we came to watch Shane, and then we were watching Oscar's crazy match with Oi, and then it just kind of continued down the road, and it was awesome that everybody kind of just got together and was like cheering for their home. You know,
we mentioned it a lot, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from getting Shane on Van Boning during that week of the World Championships, and a lot of people know, but in case you didn't know, all the credit goes to this guy right here. Nick was the one that put it all together, that helped, because we were supposed to go, and
you guys dogged it.
We dogged it for sure, and it was funny because my buddy Pinozzo, who I love Mike and I got a lot of respect for him, Mike was like, "Hey, I think we can get Shane," and I says, "Well, you know what? I got Nick in, up my sleeve that I can go and help out with some tech stuff." So, and sure enough, it didn't take much, and you jumped right in there, and you were just saving the day and helped bring us a lot of content for a lot of fans. And being here at the Expo, I've gotten so much. Man, that interview with Shane was great, and the World Championship interview with Shane was great, and it's all thanks to you, buddy.
It was whatever I could do to help you guys out.
All right, so let's talk about Super Billiards Expo. You're here. You're on the winner's side still. You haven't lost.
Yeah, I have to play Hennessy today at 2.
What are your he's a character.
I've never played him before. Like I said, this is my first time out and doing everything, and like I said, I got to hand it to, I couldn't be doing it without my wife, Dory. She's incredible. She's done everything for me and been behind me since day one.
Much love.
I'm just going out.
Kudos to you. You give a lot of credit to your lady, and you make all the rest of us look like a bunch of dirtbags, who don't go and shout out our wives back home, man. So I tell you, from all the men on social media, we appreciate you, and airing us out like that, man.
You guys are dogging it.
Yeah.
But no, it's the truth, and it's great to have the opportunity to play these guys that I've been watching on TV for years and watching these events on, from the outside. And now I actually get to come out and play. And
you feel like you belong?
I'll tell you the truth. I didn't feel like that until the World 10 Ball.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that. Like, I had to play Alex Kazakis.
That's not how you pronounce his name. But go ahead.
I dogged it, but how do you say it?
Kazakis.
Okay. So I got and I'm down. It's race to 8. I'm down 7-4. I make a hell of a comeback, hill, and I break dry. And
it's pretty brutal. You draw them in the World 10 ball, then you ended up drawing them in the
first round in the
9 ball.
World 9 ball. Yeah. So, but right there, I knew that I belong. And then when I made it to Europe, I had to draw them again, and I'm like, okay, it is what it is, you know. I'm like, but what's the odds of that, you know, drawing them back to back? And
actually, it was Travis that ended up pointing that out because we were in a group chat. Me and Joey and Travis and Priscilla owned one PKT, and we were doing the last longer. And Travis was the one that noticed it because I saw it on the draw, but the light bulb didn't go off, you know. And he said, didn't he draw him in the World 10 ball too?
Yeah, it was just one of the 6-6, but you know, you can't do anything about it. You just got to play. So I had my chances, and what threw me off is when the refs, you know, yell 10 seconds when you're not used to it. You're down mid-stroke, and they're like 10 seconds. You're like, well, your mind.
You're gonna have to get used to it because you're making a lot of waves, and the more that you're gonna be traveling to these premier events, showcasing American players, especially players that are on the Mosconi radar, which at this point you would be. You're gonna have to get used to that limelight and those different standards and those conditions and that pressure, buddy.
Yeah, it's awesome. I like it. I'm just blessed that I have the opportunity to go and do what I love to do. And
all right, so let's talk Hennessy. What are you expecting? What have you heard about him? What do you know?
I know he plays great.
How's your break going?
My break is good. It's just the tables are racking a little funny, so you have to take your time on your rack. You can't just get up there and rack.
Well, he's known to take his time. You ain't got to worry about that.
I'm fine with it because you know, we have some people back home that I play and that, you know, are slow, but it's just I don't watch my opponent when they play. No? Like I don't unless they're jumping, kicking, or breaking. I'm not watching them. Like I watch
a lot of guys do that. I don't understand why.
So
I've noticed that from a lot of top players,
especially if somebody takes a long time.
It puts me on stone cold tilt.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, so instead of you getting like possibly upset or whatever about the guy taking forever on a straight in shot or whatever, I just kind of watch the next table. Like, especially with the ladies being here, I like watching the ladies play. So I just kind of glance over. I just glance over and I just watch one of their matches until he's done with whatever he's doing. Because this is how I think about it. If you're watching him and he completely butchers the ball straight in and the ball goes 3 rails and now you're hooked behind the only third ball that's on the table, and then now your mindset coming to the table is like, God, mother, you know.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a flip side of that.
But
what if there's things that you can learn that your opponent maybe struggles on that can go and put in the tool chest?
I understand that, but in the same point for me, I want to come to the table with a clear mind. So if I don't hear a ball drop, I get up and I'm like, okay, I'm kicking, or I have a difficult shot or whatever because he butchered it. There's no like, oh God, he got lucky again, and then your negative thought is in your head the whole time. Like, is this how it's gonna roll?
Oh, like if he did get a roll.
Yeah. So like, I just like coming to the table with a clear mind.
I'm gonna give you this example. So we interviewed Shane, I think in Vegas.
Yeah.
And we brought up the Chang Jun Lin match, and actually this was in the World Championship after he beats Chang, thanks to you. And anyway, we were talking with him. And he brought up very specifically that there was a point in the match. I don't remember exactly when in the World 9 ball match it was, but that Chang had a cue ball on the rail. And he specifically said, I remember from playing our match, the long race, right, in Round Rock, that he does not like those shots.
He played safe. He played safe and left him almost dead straight in length table. And
that's right. That was
yeah.
He pushed out.
Yeah, he pushed out.
I remember. And then he ended up coming like, he thins the ball.
And
then ended up coming up on the
and puts him dead in the pocket.
It was a beautiful save. Now I remember it. Yeah. It really was.
And he jacked up and he missed it.
But you know, he wouldn't if he's looking away. My point was, if he's looking away,
I understand.
He's not picking up those nuggets. Right now, I know he was playing a race to 150 or whatever it was. You're playing a race to 9 here.
Yeah.
So it's apples and oranges, but it's like he's that much of a student of the game.
No,
you know?
Correct. That's good. But he's been playing so long. His mental game is so strong, you know, with everything. I just like to come to the table with having a clear mind.
That's fair enough, man. And I get it. You know, and I can see that side of it where it's like, because, well, first of all, it doesn't much to put on tilt. Number one, they do go and, you know, get a ball, and luckily, and I'm saying it politely, luckily, right? It would go and kind of,
because they win on back and then they break and run. You're like, dude, that just cost me 2 games.
This
and instead of being like that, I just don't watch them play. So, I mean, I know Tyler's like that. He doesn't watch his opponent play either.
I know a lot of guys that are like that, really, and I haven't like asked players specifically why that is, but whether it's male or female, you know, top tier player, middle of the pack player, you know, whatever. I noticed that a lot of guys in tournament play or even in action play where they're not even paying attention. They're just sitting there, and it's that stoic face that we've seen a million times where they're just looking the other way. And I guess at some point something, you know, rings a bell and, oh, it's my turn now. You know,
yeah, because like I have another person that asked me a couple months ago, and they're like, well, what if your player's cheating? I go, well, if they have to cheat to beat me, then, you know, it is what it is.
Nice guys finish last, buddy. First.
Hey, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, I just like to come to the table with a clear mind, regardless if he butchered and hooked me, or he actually played a good safe, or he left me straight in, you know, lane table.
Well, and Hennessy's got a lot of seasoning, a lot of experience.
Yes, he does.
He's been around the table. He's been around the pool world, especially in the States. You know, but he doesn't travel to these big professional events. I see him more as like those regional, you know, bar table kind of players that stays away from like the matchroom events and stuff like this. So I think it's pretty even. You know, I mean, I like your chances.
I mean, alternate break, 9-ball, you know, anything can happen. You know,
yeah,
you get stuck. You can't come back like Shane. You know, in alternate break format. You know, a winter break is you have a good chance.
Well, let's go down some of these other matches that are here. I was gonna do this with Joey, but Joey decided to go take a.
He's dogging it.
Go take a haircut that was 2 hours away each way. No big deal. Anyway, Mario Kenny Rutman. That's a pretty good match. Kenny's real good at playing 9-ball.
Yeah, but Mario's been playing really well too.
Yeah, no, he has, and he's coming over here looking to go and get some points himself. Yeah, I asked him when I saw him over here. First of all, when I seen him on the list, I said, "What the hell is he doing there?"
Yeah, right.
And that was my first question whenever I seen him in person. I said, "What are you doing here, man? Like, why are you traveling all the way over here to go and play this event? You know, it's not even in Europe." He's like, "I need to get some points." So it's cool that it's based off of, like, you get an X amount of spots that are based specifically off of your performance.
Yes, correct.
Not whose ass you're kissing, not who's, you know, who likes you more than the other. It's going to be based off of how you're playing on the table. So that part I love, and I respect him for going and traveling. Similar to you, buddy.
That's what I'm doing. My UK Open is next, you know. So
absolutely. Up next, we got Alan Rosalo from Puerto Rico against Kang Lee. That's another great matchup.
Kang Lee plays really well.
Kang Lee's been playing great ever since traveling around the country with that Predator series.
Yes, man. He has.
He's been playing some phenomenal pool. We got Shane Wolford against Joe Dupuis. Joe, I think, is a East Coast regional player who's very familiar with being around here, from what I understand.
You guys know a lot more players than I do. Like, I know a select few, but a lot of these, like, mid players or shortstop players, you like to call them or whatnot, I don't really know them because I've never been around. So I'm learning as I'm going out through all over the world.
Well, he's going to be playing Shane, and I'm curious how that matchup's going to go, only because we saw Shane up pretty late battling it out with Warren Kiamko on the bar table, which I don't know who thought that was a good match, but the kid can play 10-ball on the bar table. You know, he's got a decent enough break to go.
His break is great.
I told you, didn't I tell you last night when it was like, I think it was around like 13.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Nick messages me, and I'm already at the hotel because I'm old, right? And I'm tired, and I'm sleepy. I went to go eat at some great Italian place with Paul Drexler, Shelby Williams, Franco, 4 or 5 other guys. It was a fantastic dinner. Anyway, I'm at the hotel, and I'm watching some basketball, and I'm got on Facebook, my phone, watching the match, right? And Nick's like, "Who do you like in this match?" And I said, "Have you seen Shane effing break? Like, the kid can go and break." And Warren just wasn't breaking 10-ball very, very well, number one. Number two, I hadn't seen Warren play in like over 6 months. So that's a big difference, where Shane's been playing everywhere and anywhere he can. Much the same to you. But anyway, a 2 o'clock matchup. I'm curious to see how Shane's going to go and play. He's young, so he should be all right. Of course. Oh, actually, you're playing the winner out of that match, Nick.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting, especially if it ends up being you and Wolford, which I think will be box office. But below that, you got Darren Appleton against Jeff Beckley. I don't know much.
Darren's been playing really good lately.
Talk about a resurgence, man.
Yes.
I love me some Darren Appleton. He's a fantastic player and a Hall of Famer. Danny Olson and Matt Vergara. I like Danny in that matchup, but Matt can go and play. Let's see. Mika Immonen and D. Atkins.
That's another one that's been playing really good, too.
Mika's been on fire.
Yes,
man.
He has.
Yeah. I mean, and actually, we're going to have him on. I saw him yesterday. We ended up getting Angela on, but we're going to get Mika on in the next day or two. But Mika plays at 2. If he wins, then if he wins, I'm going to try to get him on, and I'll put it like that. Oh, and by the way, you guys, and we appreciate everyone for watching, but we got Savannah Easton coming on
yes.
coming
Awesome.
on at 2:30. So I talked to her dad yesterday, and the funniest thing, he was like, "Well, I guess it just depends if she wins or not, you know." So, but anyway, yeah, we're gonna try to get Mika on as well sometime today. My man Oscar and Rafael Debreo. That'll be a great match because
Yeah.
Rafa's been playing some good pool. I got a little sweater on that one with my boy Santoro. Thorsten Holman against Bart Kapla. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I don't
He
know
did
much
really
about
good in
Bart.
the Worlds too. Thorsten. He's.
Oh yeah, yeah. Who did he lose to?
Albin.
Did he?
Yeah.
After you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like final 16. I think.
We got Warren Kiamko against Reyes Gomez. I like Warren in that matchup.
Yeah.
I'm not too sold on Reyes' game. Let's see here. Ralph Suke against BJ Ussery. That's a really great matchup. BJ's been playing great. He just came off a really big win that I was able to go and sweat. And because Joey was on my ass about it, I was tweeting about it yesterday. Whenever he was playing Stephen Holm. So Ralph Suke against BJ Ussery, that'll be a fantastic matchup as well. We got Federer Gorst against Kevin Clark.
Yeah.
How can you not like Federer, in that matchup?
Federer's just been on fire. Out of everybody.
I reached out to Federer to see if he can come on and just talk about that tournament they got coming up. Try to keep the politics out of it. Federer's a friend of the show, so
Yeah.
we'll see if we can get him on. Jason Shaw against Toru Hayakua. I think he's from Japan. And I'm not being a smartass when I say that, but I'm pretty sure if he's who I think he is anyway. Billy Thorpe against Joseph Spence. Joe's been playing great ever since Vegas, man. And we got a chance to interview him. Really down-to-earth kid. I like that guy quite a bit, man. But Billy, a 9-6 win over Hunter Lombardo the round before. That set him to be a blockbuster. John Moore against Christina Tkach. That's going
to be a good match.
Yeah. That might be an upset alert, man.
Might
I wouldn't be
You
so surprised.
Yeah,
it's 9-ball. If it's 10-ball, it's a whole other game.
Totally.
But 9-ball, one on the spot.
Yes.
Hey, watch out. All right, let's see. Robbie Capito against Jesus. You know what, man? I bet on Tim DeRuiter last night when he was up like 7-6 on Jesus, right? Just to kind of throw some money in the fire.
On Tim, right?
Tim? Yeah. Burn that money quick, man. I went to go look back like 30 minutes later, and it was not the. Tim was up 7-6. It was Jesus took a break, and then when I look back, set like 30 minutes later, it was 9-7 Jesus. So it put me on tilt. But luckily, I won some basketball action yesterday, so that's not too bad. Yeah. On the loser side, there's some other matches that are going to be coming through. I think today we'll be down to the final 16. Am I wrong in saying that?
Tonight.
What's what I mean? Like at the end of today.
End of tonight. Yeah, because like I'll play when I win, or if I win one or whatever, I play at 8:30, and then that gets me into the final 16. So it's going to be tough.
Well,
tough bracket, tough players. It's just let's have some fun.
Go give them hell. We'll be rooting for you. We'll be cheering for you. We're going to sign off right now. We appreciate everyone for joining in. I'm going to be going live a lot today. And when I mean a lot, I'm going to try to just do one thing after another. So keep your notifications on.
Yeah, don't dog it.
We're going to do just a ton of stuff besides Easton coming up at 2:30. Agent Prasad was just here. We're going to try to get him on as well. I'm going to try to pull Jason away from that Perry booth. He's just had a ton of people over there the entire time, along with Onboard, one of your sponsors.
Yes.
And then I'm also going to go and show you guys the cues that are up for Q of the Year. And I'm telling you, there's some sick work out there. So anyway, that's just like one of like a dozen things that I got on my mind. So
Q porn.
Yeah, we will be going live, and we'll see you.